What is up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris, and I'm gonna tell you all about a movie I just watched. I'm gonna tell you most of the things that happened in it. I'm gonna, be giving you spoilers, telling you that anything I find noteworthy about it. I decided to do one that I watched when I was young. It's a 1992 movie called Stay Tuned, starring John Ritter. The movie starts with a couple that's getting ready to watch a movie, TV show thing. Some weirdo shows up at the front door. The guy goes to get the door. Lady comes outside. The guy is gone, and his popcorn bowl's on the ground. And then she sees something, and lightning crashes, and she goes, "Ah!" There's some weird exposition from their son, and the kid is talking about how his dad is a TV junkie. And that's all he ever does is TV and blah blah blah. And John Ritter's like watching some old movie where they're like doing sword fighting, and he's got like a foil, I think they're called the fencing sword, and he's like acting out the things that are happening. Somehow the son is able to like create this device, this crazy high tech device using other electronics to like hack into the TVs of the people nearby, and so he has like this fake little show that he puts on where he's like making fun of his sister or something. The wife character goes up to John Ritter and is like, "Let's go out, let's go do something, like that's good for the marriage, I've heard, if we get like go take a vacation together and stuff like that." And he's like, "Yeah, but I gotta watch my TV stuff. Can I do things with TV?" And whatever, she takes like a trophy of his and throws it into the TV and breaks it. But he's got like a backup little TV that's he puts on top of the broken one. Weird dude shows up at the door, and it's this guy that you've seen in like all the '90s movies, and he's like offering him this special remote, this fancy little remote in this box. But it's not just the remote. He's like, "I give you this fancy new TV and like satellite dish thing. It gets 666 channels. It's amazing." And he's like, "I don't know if I want to do that." And the guy's name is Spike. Spike says, "A lot of people would sell their souls for this opportunity." And he's like, "No, I gotta pass. I'm sorry." And he's like, "Well, there's a free trial." And he's like, "Free trial." So he decides to do it. And once the big ass satellite thing is installed, the obvious demon character drives into a dead end on their street, and then like a gateway to hell opens up, and he drives right into it. His name is Spike. There's 666 channels. Sell your soul. You didn't think it was fucking coming? So he starts watching his new TV shit, and there's weird shows. Three Men and Rosemary's Baby. There's like a prank where somebody tells their wife that the husband is dead or whatever, and it's called Sadistic Home Videos. The wife sees that he's got this brand new setup, and she's like, "This is bullshit." She goes out to the yard, starts trying to destroy the satellite thing, and it starts like turning on and like changing position and bringing out this little thing, and both of them get like laser beams sucked into the satellite dish thing. When we see them again, they're trapped on this game show, and it's called You Can't Win, and the prize is the Napper Crapper chair. It's a chair that has a TV attached to it, and like cup holders, and a toilet built into it. It's the Napper Crapper. The Spike guy in this weird like TV studio type place, Eugene Levy, shows up and starts giving some exposition to the new guy, and it feels very Cabin in the Woods. He's explaining how like the people that get sucked in to the satellite dish thing, they have 24 hours to survive, and if they can survive the TV shows that they're in for 24 hours, then they get to go back home, and if not, then the devil gets their soul or whatever. Eugene Levy says something that Spike doesn't agree with, so he ends up sending him into the thing to help them not win. They go through a little staticky portal thing, and they end up in a professional wrestling ring. And they're going against the Gorgons, who are just these large people, the man and woman, that are just, every time they say anything, it's like, "Ah!" And they're getting their butts kicked. Until the woman, like, grabs the wife by her hair and, like, pulls out a chunk of her hair. And she's like, "My hair!" And that really gets her upset. And so she goes and grabs, like, a mic stand from one of the reporter guys and starts bashing the shit out of her. And then there's another staticky portal thing that opens up. And they go into it, and they end up in Northern Overexposure, which is a joke on an old TV show called Northern Exposure. But this one's like they're definitely going to die from overexposure in the cold, icy wilderness. Eugene Levy is there in the icy place with them, and there's some wolves, and he's like, "Come on, get into this cabin." He sees that he finds that there's the portal. There's another staticky portal, but it's under some ice. The kid almost gets sucked into the dish thing, but he doesn't. He holds on to something. His bite gets taken into it. Eugene Levy explains to Ritter and his wife like what's going on. Explains the whole situation. They're trapped in the dish and in the shows and whatever. And they gotta try to get out. Somehow the cabin catches fire, and they manage to push the cabin like over across the ice, over the portal thing, and break through the ice and jump through into the next thing where they're animated mice in like an old school like Warner Brothers Looney Tunes style animation thing. And this is actually the coolest part of the movie because it's old school hand drawn animation. It looks pretty good. It's fun. Apparently the cartoon adults that live in the house that the mouse people are in, they've decided to send away for a robot cat. And RoboCat has like a bunch of weapons to get rid of the mice. Somehow they get the cat into a bathtub and push like a hairdryer into the bathtub, electrocute the thing, and it blows up. But it's able to like have this little magnet thing pull it back together, and it keeps chasing him around. John Ritter's mouse character mails away for an Acme brand Robo-Dog, and Robo-Dog fights RoboCat, and the house explodes, and he's able to go through the mouse portal. They're able to escape through little staticky mouse hole portal in the wall. And there's one called My Three Sons of Bitches. My Three Sons of Bitches. Because there was a show called My Three Sons. I don't remember that one. But John Ritter ends up in Dwayne's Underworld. Dwayne's Underworld, party time, excrement. I don't know. They say some weird shit, but basically it's Wayne's World, but since it's the underworld, they're like zombie creatures and everything's fucked up. And they're like, "Hail Satan!" And they have John Ritter tied up to a chair, and his shirt says "Sphincter Boy." Both of them end up in this like black and white noir detective movie thing, and he's trying to figure out where his dame went. And like every now and then they cut back to the kid like switching through shows and stuff. They're just like cramming in a bunch of these references, and one of them's for The Exorcisist. It's The Exorcist, but they're doing like exercises, and it's ridiculous. They're like, let's do some head spins. While they're in the detective movie thing, they find one of the neighbors. I guess the neighbor has been trapped in there, but he kind of likes it in there, and he doesn't want to leave, and he's got like his remote with him. It sort of became like a Matrix moment, actually, that like he liked it in there, just like the bad dude liked it in the Matrix, and he wanted to go back, and he's like, I just want to stay in here and live because it's better than the outside world. And then some like rival gangster people come into the club that they're in, and like gun a bunch of people down, and the neighbor guy says, "Take the remote and get out of here." They end up in like old school French Revolution times. They meet up with Eugene Levy again there, and he explains what's going on. John Ritter is like, he's dressed up like a woman for some reason. Some of the like French soldiers are in a bar with John Ritter and wife character, and he's in drag. They start hitting on the couple. Somehow weirdo little kid brother in real life is able to use his tech knowledge to like build this weird contraption thing that's supposed to like help bring him back. John Ritter's wig gets knocked off, and they notice that it's a dude, so they take him away to get killed or something. John Ritter's about to get his head chopped off in a guillotine. Somehow the kid is able to get enough power to juice his machine in the regular world, so he's able to start talking into the TV program that they're trapped in, and everybody that hears the kid's voice thinks it's God. It's like, that's the voice of God, and he's like, let those people go. The demon people start talking to Spike's character, which we find out is Mephistopheles. I know I've heard that name, some demon name, but he's been doing like contract fraud. He's bringing in people that shouldn't be there. Like, he sends John Ritter back out of the thing, but the wife is still in there. Mephistopheles dude goes in to take care of business. He's got his remote, and he makes himself go into the thing to make sure that the wife dies, I guess. And I'm pretty sure they say Eugene Levy's character's name is Crowley. I'm pretty sure Crowley was also a reference to like a story character that like sold their soul to the devil or something like that. I don't know that as much. But Mephistopheles Spike dude is able to take them into a western and like puts her on some train tracks with some explosives behind her. Ritter's character is like, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna save her. He's able to use his remote to get himself back into the dish, into the Western program, and he's like an awkward Western hero he's supposed to be. They get into a duel, him and Spike, and Spike shoots him, but it doesn't kill him because he had the remote. The bullet got stopped by a remote, and so his remote, it doesn't work, but he's still alive. So they have a fight, and they're trying to get a hold of of Spike's remote, and so they accidentally travel through multiple different things again. They end up in like a Star Trek thing where there's like multiple Spike characters in there, and I think John Ritter says, "Holy Shatner!" And then he's in like a Crash Test Dummies commercial, and he's one of the dummies that doesn't have the seatbelt on or something. And then he's in Charlie's Angels. I don't know if they say it, but it's Charlie's Angels, and I think he was also part of that actual TV program. Then he ends up in another one where some old lady gets run over, and it's called Driving Over Miss Daisy, which is a Driving Miss Daisy joke. They end up in another place. Spike dude has one of those fencing swords, and he's about to kill John Ritter. They have a little tussle, and the kid is able to send the foil, the sword thing, through to John Ritter, and it lands right in his hand, and so they're able to have themselves a little sword fight thing. And then they're in like a Salt and Peppa music video. I think it's that "Start Me Up, You Got to Start Me Up." John Ritter's like got this goofy thing on his head, and he's in this weird outfit, and he's like dancing in the music video and shit. It's goofy. They're able to send Spike away with the remote, but they're not able to get themselves out of there for some reason. The remote doesn't work. Somehow they find out if they just turn off the TV, like if the kids in the regular world turn off the TV, then everything will be fine. And the wife is still about to get hit by a train, but he's already kind of saved her, but they're still stuck there. But the kids turn off the TV, and they come back, and everything is fine. But the satellite dish thing still takes like the neighbor's pit bull dog away into the thing. Eugene Levy and Spike end up in the same place where Spike is like up on a chandelier, and the dog is down there like getting ready to attack him. And Eugene Levy doesn't like that guy, so he ends up like cutting down the chandelier and just giving him to the dog. I guess that's gonna like eat his face or whatever. They show John Ritter teaching a fencing class. He's not addicted to TV. He's out doing things in the world now. And then the credits roll, and while the credits are rolling, there's some more goofy like puns that I guess didn't make it into the movie. Beverly Hills 90666, I Love Lucifer, The Golden Ghouls, Murder She Likes, like Murder She Wrote, The Facts of Life Support, The Fresh Prince of Darkness, Unmarried with Children, and that's the whole movie. I think the message was supposed to be like, don't be obsessed with TV. If you watch it too much, you get obsessed with it, but you need to be hanging out with people out in the real world, so don't be staring at the TV all the time. Go out and live life and talk to people and shit. But there's also kind of like a Christian message, sort of, at least in certain moments, because you definitely have like the devil, which, like I said, very Cabin in the Woods. Like they're trying to appease the old gods in that one. And this one, it's like the guy really in charge that you don't see. There's like the hooved one, like he's got hooves like a fucking, like the devil or whatever. And then you got 666 and Mephistopheles and Crowley. I think this is a pretty fun movie. It's very, very definitively 90s. The jokes and references do not hold up unless you lived during that era and actually knew what those things were. I would recommend this to people that don't mind watching an old 90s movie that is super goofy, sometimes kind of charming. It's a pretty light watch. It's goofy, it's silly, it's got bad jokes, bad puns. I don't know, the message is okay. Don't spend your whole life watching TV or whatever. Whatever, that's fine. I don't know, I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoyed watching it again. I've watched it several times when I was a kid, I liked something about it. Probably that supernatural shit. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you're feeling and thinking about this movie, other movies, any recommendations for ones that you'd like me to review or anything. I will catch you next week on the next Spoiling Movies review. Peace out, you guys. There's some... I only... Then there's another show that is... whatever. He sound like it, and it's sort of like whatever. And I will I will